exposure. In his first 4 years, he was exposing what was.
What he done? He didn't start the war.
No.
Of course. First time everybody says bravo to U.S. president.
Exactly.
There are no people in the world who would have interest to be against Donald Trump.
I agree.
So, yes, Serbia geographically, from Iran geographically, but the head is in your country.
That's a mind wrap. Have to wrap your head around.
Da. Koliko ja znam, CIA nema nadležnosti unutar Sjedinjenih država, tako?
As far as he knows, CIA has jurisdiction outside of the US, not inside.
Yes.
Kako onda stavlja hiljade ljudi na mere u Americi? Kako onda obučava FBI i rukovodioce?
And how they're able to put people on measures and monitoring inside the US, and how they're training the officials of the FBI.
Kako imaju sivi sud?
How do they have this so-called gray code, which was mentioned here?
I have to go back and look at structures. I don't know that I understood it to be a CIA court.
Повече свати да не сигурно, тоест тие е сватило да е то суд кој припада баш ти.
Ne, to je zvaničan sud, ali su to posebno odabrane sudije i to je tajni sud na nivou Sjedinjenih država za koje Amerikanci ne znaju da postoji.
It is an official court, but the judges...
Ne, zvanične sudije, ali je to tajni sud za koje Amerikanci ne znaju.
The judges are all official judges, but the court is a secret one and the American people is not familiar with it.
Maybe the judge is judge of Supreme Court, maybe some federal court. Who knows?
The judge is a judge of some other court, but also it's this secret.
But that is known to every agency in the United States. Because on the meetings you see how many people, how many different agencies.
And those were all done in Serbia? Those meetings were all done in the interior, so to speak, of the Serbian government?
It is how they explain what they did in Serbia, they did in every other country. They explain how system works in the United States and show people here why they should use the same thing. Give control to them, they will create like in the United States, and if they work for CIA, they don't have problem in their life. CIA have many reserve countries. What is United States? Let's see it, but they have no problem in the United States.
So, talk to me about...
I need 2 copies for me, 2 copies for you.
Okay.
Like just like to sign that you have received. Yes. So there is at the end there is a sign delivered to.
That's all.
Sign.
Yeah.
Maybe when we in the air. I don't know. Better when we in the air, maybe. Kako ide initials to know that is the text.
because they know more about the inner workings of those
Kao
agencies.
što vidite, ja sam napomenuo da sam tražio plina još od januara
You can
meseca.
see he mentioned here that he asked to speak to General Flynn since the beginning of these conversations in January.
Kada su počeli Karisa, kad je krenula da me pita vezano za Iran, za
Carissa
Siju,
started to ask questions about Iran and the CIA.
prvo sam želeo njemu da objasnim jer će on razumeti o čemu se radi.
He wanted first to explain to General Flynn because he would understand what this is all about.
Jer je to veliki problem.
Because this is a big problem.
Između ostalog zato što je to uključena i vojska na tim sastancima.
Among other things because the army is involved in those meetings.
A vojska funkcioniše drugačije i to ipak on mora da vidi što će sa njim.
It's a different structure when the army is about it.
I onda on mora da vidi šta će sa tim. A s druge strane ne mogu tek tako da stavljam ta imena. Logično, nakon što u ispitivanju me neko pitao i ja bi
On the
morao
other hand, he cannot just simply state those names during a possible cross-examination. He would be asked about it.
čak i ako ne stavim, nego će me neko pitati.
Even if he didn't mention those names, somebody would ask him about it.
Ovdje vidite kako Srđan mešao i zašto.
We have here the reason why Iran interfered in the selection.
Mnogo ljudi odavde je vrbovan.
Many people are recruited from here to us.
So you're saying many of the Serbians have been recruited to the CIA?
Naša služba za CIA je vrbovala Iranci.
Many of the Iranians were recruited by our security services.
For CIA.
For the CIA.
Yeah, gotcha.
I ovi sastanci se zvanično nikada nisu desili.
Officially, these meetings never took place.
Oni nose oznaku državna i vojna tajna i u Srbiji.
Gave a mark or label of a state and military secret. In Serbia,
Verovatno i u Americi.
probably in the States also.
Također na tim sastancima, kao što vidite, ljudi iz CIA su davali našim ljudima dokumenta sa oznakom top secret. Što je opet dosta ozbiljan problem.
Also, during this meeting, the people from the CIA,
Da? CIA.
people from the CIA, they gave our people some documents which had mark top secret or
Top secret.
Top secret.
Zato mi trebaju garancije ozbiljne.
This is why he needs those guarantees.
Gotcha. Okay, so, and they would have contacted you or you came into this knowledge because of your role in Parliament when you were in government? Why would they contact you? Like, so why would you become their point person?
Škoda me, zašto je
Zašto? Što, da kažem, osoba preko ove tvoje informacije, zašto su tebe kontaktirali nekada? Da, ali kao političar,
kao političar, ali to opet ne treba njih da zanima.
like a politician, but again, that is something that is not of your primary concern. That's not.
Jednostavno je tako,
It's just like that.
ja to mogu da imam.
Well, I mean,
He's a
so
position
people would ask me that question if I had documentation. Why would you wind up with whatever rights and privileges?
Neki ljudi su odabrali mene.
Some people choose him specifically.
Gotcha. So, when were you actually? You were part of Parliament, right, before you went?
2016. 3. juna do 3. avgusta 2020.
From June 3rd, 2016 to August 3rd, 2020. He was an MP. That was his term.
Gotcha. So, you were in Parliament during the meeting that is discussed in the affidavit with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. You were in Parliament at the time?
Ne. Jesam, da, jesam, da, to je bio avgust, tako je 16. 17. avgust 2016. je Joe Biden kao potpredsjednik bio u Beogradu.
That was during that period, yes.
Gotcha. So, let's do a timeline of sorts, just so that legally I can tie up some chain of custody for us on our end.
Uspostavili ekvivalent does that bring you?
Does that then bring them forward?
Bukvalno da li onda to znači da će dovesti te osobe
Ja sam rekao već za čoveka koji je kontaktirao ih i poslao poruku, on se jako plaši.
You know what he said about the person who responded, he said he's very afraid because nobody
On se uplašio još u novembru kad je vidio da niko nije odgovorio.
He was scared ever since November when he saw that nobody responded to his response.
A posle 20. februara kad je Biden vlast,
since Biden is in power, he's
to je
scared.
ozbiljan problem. Znači možda, vidjet ćemo.
So the person, the technology person from Dominion is the person that responded to the report? Okay. So what does Alex have? Alex Stravanovic?
Čuli smo se. Rekao bi da ste ga kontaktirali.
He told Srđan that you have contacted him.
Rekao mi je da ne može, bar ne u ovom trenutku, da javno da izjavu, jer ima, ja znam kakve problemi ima.
He said to Srđan that at this very moment he cannot give an affidavit publicly because
Ili nastupati javno.
or make a public appearance, whatever. He can't because he has many personal problems.
Do njega su došli.
They reached him, somebody reached him.
I pazite, druga strana zna sve šta vi radite.
The other side, the enemy side, so to say, obviously knows everything that you are doing.
I idu i nude ogroman novac.
And they go around and it's necessary, they offer people a lot of money.
Njihovi resursi su mnogo veći nego vaši.
Their resources are much bigger than yours.
Stefanović ima dosta problema.
Stefanović has a lot of problems.
Između ostalog, njegov sin jedinac je već 10 godina u pritvoru u psihijatrijskoj bolnici.
Among other things, his only son has been detained for 10 years already in a psychiatric hospital.
U okružnom zatvoru.
Inside the
Jail.
county jail.
On je bivši CIA. Stefanović je
Stefanović is the former CIA.
On je bio glavni čovek za organizaciju obojene revolucije 2000. On je nosio pare.
He was the main man in the organization of a color revolution of 2000. He brought the money from outside to the...
Tako je bio kasnije u početku vlasti jedan od najutjecajnijih.
And in the beginning of that government, in the 21st century, he was one of the more influential people.
Dakle, pustio je zbog šale.
And then he got himself in trouble because of a joke.
CIA ne zna da se šali.
CIA doesn't know how to play jokes.
No humor.
No humors.
Znači, pazite, ovo su, meni je jasno da su ovo izuzetno jake stvari.
It's clear to him that this is all very, very hard things, very serious things.
I nije sporo da vi imate koliko je duboka vaša duboka država.
And it's undisputable how deep exactly is your deep state.
Ovdje je samo suština koliko vi duboko možete da idete, da li možete toliko da idete.
Just the point of the matter is how deep can you think, how deep can you go?
Jer u toj rupi je sam đavo.
You'd be
Because that
surprised.
is the devil himself.
I đavola ćete izvući ako budete
And if you
čačkali.
go deep enough, you will bring out the devil.
Trust me, I know.
our CIA and
the
military agencies. Yes. Dao bi kodna imena,
Give the code names.
dao bi sva kodna imena tih operacija,
Code names for those operations.
dao bih sva imena koja su bila na sastancima
All the names that were present at the meetings.
i citirao neke stvari.
And he would quote part of the things that were said at the meeting.
I onda vaš sud, sad pričamo o legalnoj stvari, ako ja dođem i dam vam te dokaze, to onda nisu legalni dokazi.
He's talking about a legal way of obtaining the evidence, about the chain of custody. If he comes and gives you the evidence, well, that's not exactly the legal way. So,
Legal way there would be, pravi put bi onda bio da na osnovu toga vaš sud traži da im se dostave ti brojevi.
a legal way would be for your court, based on that, this information, code names,
Ne, tako nije sad informacija, ne, molim vas. To je moj iskaz u izjavi i moje svedočenje ako treba.
based on this, on his statement, based on his affidavit, and possible testifying court, the court then asked for those evidence to be delivered to them.
I onda je ovde haos.
And then it will all go on.
Ako naši kažu,
If our side of Serbia, if they say
mi to ne možemo da dostavimo,
we cannot deliver that,
možemo da im tražimo da se skine oznaka državne tajne,
we can ask for the label of a state secret or a military secret.
ove
To
osobe,
be removed.
ako i to ne žele, nije problem, dostavit ćemo na zakonit način, na drugi način.
We will find another also.
Već ga imam spremno,
He already has prepared the way.
ako bude moralo da ide dotle. Ukoliko kažu da ne postoji ta
But
dokumentacija,
if they say there is no such evidence,
onda to nije državna i vojna tajna,
the case file.
I u obe srpske službe.
In both, where this is kept in the both of our service.
Tako je, i kad stigne od američkog suda, znači, onda taj sudija u postupku treba da da nalog da se to pošalje.
And when the request comes from the US court, the presiding judge in Serbia will have to give an order for the evidence to be submitted.
Onda da znate, onog trenutka kad mi podnesete takvu izjavu sa svim tim imenima.
But when you file this future affidavit containing all these names,
u Americi je haos.
Chaos will erupt in the United States.
Tada vi morate da imate ljude koji će slušati te sudije.
Koga će people who will monitor
tog sudiju.
That judge will preside the case.
Koga on zove, jer momentalno mu se uzima mu se slučaj i to postaje tajna u Americi.
Because the case will be taken from him and it will be a secret case.
U Americi. Jer ne možete da idete, znači oni su objasnili kako vaš sistem funkcioniše.
So they explain, here is everything, how the system works in the US.
Znači čak i kad je obična parnica, kako postupaju, a kamoli kad je ovo.
When it's a regular litigation case, you can see what they do, and I will learn something like this.
Exactly.
Ali tad vi možete da ih povatate, da vidite kako, znači to je dokaz. To je dokaz zašto sudovi nisu hteli da se upuštaju u izbornu krađu.
This is the indicator and an evidence why the US court didn't want to open the hearings in the US election fraud.
Kako vaš sistem funkcioniše?
This is how your system works.
Potpuno nepoštovanje ustava, nemate pravosuđe, državni organi su izdali.
You don't practically have a justice system in the US anymore, especially for this. State authorities have portrayed
FBI je izdalo, US Attorney, Department of Justice je izdalo, CIA, svi su zakazali.
They are failed.
Zašto?
And this is the explanation why.
Imate, znači, dokaz za sve.
You have evidence for everything.
Sa tim možete. Mislim, u toj situaciji ja pretpostavljam da će prvo biti dogovori i razgovori.
He presumes that when this thing starts to happen, there will first be some kind of conversations and negotiations.
Znači, vidiš, imamo vas, sad ćemo vas, puštajte.
You know, you will have a means to apply pressure to behave you, to as we told,
Onda je to pritisak na sud da donese odluku u vašu korist, ako nema dogovora. Da dokaže da sistem tako ne funkcioniše. U najgorem slučaju se i da vas sud odbaci. Vi imate političku agendu, imate tačno imenovane neprijatelje. Zamislite da Amerikanci to vide. Sad u ovoj situaciji to je kao da grunete kerozin i zapalite celu Ameriku. Znači, to je nešto, to nije znači od juče, vi ste rekli 98. Ovo je najmanje od 80. Ovi nama objašnjavaju da tako funkcioniše od 78.
Wow.
Posle Watergate-a kad su krenuli u te stvari.
After Watergate, so.
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah. Was Sidney Powell able to give them guarantees when he did affidavit for her?
Da li je Sidney Powell mogla, odnosno da li je dala nekakve garancije kada se pružio izjavu?
Ja sam u toj izjavi naveo u načelu dvije stvari. I onda sam shvatio kad su mi postavljali pitanje u stvari da ću ja morati da pričam o ovome.
He explained it to you. He read the previous affidavit. He spoke about things generally, as it stated here. And then he realized that they stopped asking him questions. He realized he has to go much deeper, and if he has to go deeper, then this is what it
I
takes.
u stvari sud bi me isto pitao, druga strana bi me pitala
Both
isto.
of the opposing lawyer would ask him the same questions.
Did that go to Sydney?
this did not go to sea?
No. Ja sam specifično tražio plina.
Directly asked for General Flynn.
I pošto mi nisu dali plina, ja prosto nisam mogao da...
Enable that to happen, he couldn't go any further.
U jednom mailu sam, ja mislim da je bio negde oko 15. ili 17. januara.
In one of the emails he sent somewhere around, somewhere around 17th January to Carissa,
tad sam je objasnio zašto mi je neophodan plin.
he explained to her why is plane necessary, why is it necessary for Srđan to
Jer
come.
isključivo se on razume u ovu materiju.
Because he is the single person who is familiar with all this, with this matter.
I pre nego što bi otišlo javnost, on bi morao da vidi šta je, zato što to su i Defensive Intelligence Agency, Department of Justice, Military Counterintelligence.
Before everything goes public, Flynn would have to check it out because there are things that DOD, military intelligence, and so on.
And normally ovo suđenje će biti tajno, jer ne moguće iznosti u javnosti imena
Like said here,
i operacija
when
američkih
that
službi.
eventually happens, that trial, that case, will be a secret one, just like the examples that are given.
Of course. They don't want exposed. It's coming though.
Teško je do kraja uništiti CIA. Znate koliko rezervnih država imaju oni, koliko ljudi i koliko resursa.
It's hard to expose and destroy the CIA until the very end because, as you heard, look how many backup countries and resources do they have.
Exactly.
Ja vam kažem da će odavde šta nam je rađeno 4 godine.
All the interferences that came from Serbia for the last 4 years of Trump's first term.
Ozbiljni napadi na Trumpa. Sa Balkana.
Serious attacks on President Trump from Serbia and from the whole Balkan area. Because this is where the strongest stronghold of the CIA is.
Like Ukraine, like
Just like Ukraine.
With Hunter. So that's where the Hunter Biden kind of money flow out of the Ukraine.
Yes, on is Pinčov, Ova banka.
Pinchuk's bank.
Pinčov kjesni partner bio Borisu.
Pinchuk was his partner in various partners.
Guarantee that he's going to, because all attorneys, everyone's asking what is it exactly the guarantee that he needs?
Razumeo se. Tražim prvo garanciju od generala Flina da mogu da pomenem sva imena.
Okay, first is a guarantee
Od Trumpa i Flina.
from General Flynn and from Trump that he is allowed to mention and state all these names.
To je prvo.
That is the first. Second,
Tražim eventualnu aboliciju za to krivično delo koje je državna tajna, pa da možemo to da napravimo od budućeg predsjednika Amerike koji je to Trump, to je Trump.
ask a pardon to be given for eventually, if
State secrets of the United States. If it's come to
revealing
this.
the state secret or military secret of the United States. That pardon would have to come from the future president, yes.
Ne samo za mene, nego i za druge ljude.
Not just for you, but for the other people, for the other people
Koje vi sada trenutno ne znate koji su.
you don't know right now, but in case
Znate, imamo velike probleme zbog ovoga što radimo.
he says that they have a serious problems with this thing.
Mnogi ljudi su ovdje izloženi velikom i ozbiljnom progonu.
There are a lot of people who are exposed here to serious persecution.
Some of these names, is that contingent upon that being delivered?
What names do you referring to now? Because
Dominion. the Dominion names, the programmers, the directors, will he not give those up until that goes?
Ne. Ovdje uopšte nisam navodio taj deo o Dominionu sam već objasnio ranije u komunikaciji to.
The part concerning Dominion was already explained by him, and these names are not...
Ovaj dokument se tiče drugog dela dokaza koje ja imam.
This is about the second part of the evidence that he has.
I understand. Once that gets looked at, one of the first things that's going to be asked is, how did he become aware of the information that came out of Dominion?
Back already asked that.
Aha, to, za Dominion, kako sam bio kod Dominiona, već sam to rekao, znači imam direktnu komunikaciju sa čovjekom koji mi je objasnio kako je sistem urađen i kako su odradili.
He also already said that he has a direct communication with a person who explained to him how the system was created and how did they done all
To sam rekao i prošli put, ja nisam inženjer, ja se u to ne
He's
razumijem.
not an IT, but he doesn't...
And that's the person that answered the reward question that we're looking for.
Tako je.
So would that person come forward? Does that person have demands in order to come forward because they're scared for their
Da.
life?
Pa, to su one, znači ja znam šta je on tražio kad je kontaktirao 1. novembra po vašem vremenu.
knows what that person asked for when he made that contact to Ned on November 1st.
I po vašem vremenu, prvi ovo je 2. novembar po našem, da.
2nd November
Serbian
by
time.
our time, but US time it was on November 1st.
On je hteo azil, aboliciju, azil za sebe i porodicu, aboliciju, aziliju.
He went to the national court himself and
His family.
He wanted what's next?
Abolition.
Abolition pardon. And
Because he was involved in that.
Because he was involved in that.
He want pardon and he want money.
And he wanted money.
10 million.
Well, like he said in the end.
Now I don't know
Now
because
he doesn't know what that person would want now.
Because now if you came and give 100 million, he is dead man. When they
Now
get
he's
him,
scared and everything.
what does money need to anybody?
But he will talk to you.
I will try. I will try.
Okay, we need you to try.
Because that actual number that he called is not real. He didn't actually call somebody from the States.
We have an answer that it is official
Yeah, but it is.
justice for reward.
Yeah. I have vetted it back through as far
On that
and as
level,
deep as I could go.
I will send you a link.
Yeah, no, so the States has a program. However, that was not linked to the official program.
Nije bilo povezano sa zvaničnim programom.
Zato što nemoguće, zato što i sada objavljuju nagrade za teroriste na tom istom kanalu.
He says that's impossible because even now they have, for example, reward for the information about known terrorists on that same link.
Twitter link.
It's the same Twitter link.
And he na društvenim mrežama čovjek video, znači
He saw it on social network and he said it.
na tom broju koji se nalazi na tom zvaničnom Twitter nalogu.
That was on that official Twitter account.
I dobio je odgovor. Dobar dan, došli ste u program Justice for Reward na nekoliko jezika. To je cirkularni odgovor.
Circular in several languages. Good afternoon, you responded to this.
Tako je. To da nam dostavite informacije vezane za umešanost u krađu izbora.
Information regarding the possible election fraud, etc. And nothing after that.
So, sad razmislite kad čovjek radi u Dominionu. Zna da krade izbore protiv Trumpa. Zna da Trump razvaljuje na izborima.
So imagine a man who works at Dominion, he knows that he is helping to steal the election from Trump. He knows that Trump has a massive support, that it's election real support.
Pazite, Srbin je,
He's a Serbian man.
ako i ne voli Trumpa, on mrzi Bajdena.
Even if he doesn't love Trump, he hates Biden Trump.
Jer čovjek od 50 godina svoje političke karijere, 30 godina je bio naš dušman i najcrnji.
Because for 30 years of his 50-year-old political career Biden was our
Last 30 years he was my
enemy.
first enemy.
One of first enemy.
So there are no Serb who
There are
would
no
like
real
to see
Serbs who like
Biden dead. To say like that. And pošalje program, pošalje poruku
So he sends the message
i ništa.
and nothing happens.
Čovjek nije budala.
He's not a fool.
On
Obviously.
vidi da je Trump prodan. I da je on sad meta da ga love.
He saw that Trump was obviously betrayed by the state agencies, and that now he, the man who sent those messages, can become a target.
He is a target.
He is a target.
So just to establish, once this goes back, then what? Are you going to come? Are you willing to come to the States after that?
Testify.
I am, but
Affidavit.
znači vidite šta piše. I za moju izjavu i za sve ovo postoje potrebne su garancije i potrebni su uslovi.
So for his affidavit and everything that follows, guarantees that was stated here will be necessary, and the terms for
Conditions for
obtaining
this,
the
of course. I am ready to come and to speak about guarantees and conditions. If I receive guarantees and if we agree about condition, same moment I will give affidavit.
Okay. And you have, I think I asked you that before last time, you have your passport and
Yes,
stuff
of
to
course.
travel? Okay. Do you have any other questions?
The only person who can give, jedina osoba koja može znači da pregovara oko tih uslova jeste ta osoba koju treba da vratimo ili da guramo za sljedeći predsjednik Amerike.
the only person who can negotiate with
Oko uslova.
concerning those conditions is that person who we need to bring back to power of the next.
If that is
If
Trump,
he's
if
the
we are
next
returning
president
Trump,
of the-
then with Trump. If it's somebody else with that man, who will be the next president of the United States?
Gotcha. Trump. It's our man.
Well, what you're asking is the conversation of that needs to happen with Trump or someone close to him.
About condition directly with Trump, but General Flynn, it is his professional matter. He must be involved in this, and he must see this, and he must
Give that first guarantee for
yes,
those names.
guaranteation, and of course he will know what to do with this. Maybe he will say it is too much for us in this moment. I don't know. We will see. It is a fire. Now it's a problem. You notice the names. It is also serious names for Serbian side. Those people from our services, they create all political system last 30 years and did many very dangerous and bad things. Very dangerous people.
So let me ask a question, because while we were in flight, it was a little loud. You were going to give us names of, was it military operations, the military, the code name or something?
No,
Did
I will
you-
give you.
Okay.
All of these dossiers.
Gotcha.
You know, every meeting was
Okay.
documented.
Gotcha.
There is steno on paper, there is video, there is audio,
Okay.
and there is a file, dossier.
For fire.
Yes. I u civilnoj i u vojnoj službi.
It is kept both in the civils, in the BIA,
Civil service and
both
military
in
service.
the military
They
intelligence.
both have files. I will
Both
give
have
you the name. One name is for the military, the second name is for the civil service, and the code, the number of those files.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when you give them in the head information, it is like hold down.
Okay. Gotcha.
Would be remiss not to ask. Can you just give us one right now?
I already in the phone conversation give two names to the general.
Yep.
So
Can we-
tell me what the second name was, because I couldn't
I will
transcribe.
not repeat because
Okay.
general know those people personally.
I had the first one. I knew the first one. I didn't know the second one. So you said it so fast I couldn't tell if it was the two names together was a last name.
Can you just write it down? Because on the listening to it, it sounded like one long name.
Yes, it is first name, the middle name, and the last name. Maybe I
It
didn't.
is 3 names.
Last name. Maybe it is pronounced like different, but I'm not sure because I have an English version. I wrote it on English to be sure to tell the right.
I mean, can you write it down? Can you?
Whence I can tell you.
I'm sorry.
Last name Whence. Once.
Whence?
Yes.
W
Never
E.
mind. No. Seriously, regular. But
Whence? So I thought you said wise. So that's why I was like, I wasn't sure how in the translation if that was the name.
so if
Kelly Wise.
if General didn't hear, but I will give him full names, everything when we make agreement.
Gotcha.
Everything I give, the birth names, the birth, rođendan,
Birthday.
kad su rođeni,
Birthdays, yes. Date of birth,
everything.
Were you the recordings that you say steno, video, audio? You were in this meeting, or is this from
No,
is this someone
ja
else?
sam bio dete kad su ti sastanci
No,
počeli.
he was still a child when these meetings started to happen. So
I to je dugačak vremenski period.
it's for long years that has been happening.
So this is years worth of
Meetings.
Ali dobit će tačno ono što njih zanima i što treba.
You will get everything that you need.
So to tie that information, because of what you did in Parliament, is why people trusted you to allow you to know what those top secrets were? That was due to what your role was in the government? Which is why you
To nije
needed
government,
No,
certain
it's
nije
not the
opozicija.
government. He was in opposition. He
Okay.
never was in government.
Sorry. Position. What does that equate to like government for us?
No,
No,
it's,
maybe.
he was not.
Aha,
in
da, to je
government.
drugačije sistem.
The system is different because you have a national assembly and there are the representatives of the people. And
Yes.
not all of those representatives are part of the government.
Yes.
Some are opposed
Majority
to government.
majority
They
is
don't-
government.
He was not
the
in majority.
minority is opposition.
Opposition.
I was member of opposition.
Okay, gotcha.
The Dominion meeting with the Bidens. You weren't there. There were
Of
people
course
there.
I wasn't
there were
there.
people there that we won't discuss yet. Were there state documents showing movements
It is
to this meeting?
state documents. It is not official. This was a like meeting between officials.
That's
Ovo je bio
not like that.
sastanak
It's not
između
a-
zvaničnika naše
This
službe i
was
zvaničnika
all-
vaše službe.
These were all official meetings.
Hunter Biden je
But
privatno
this
lice.
one was a
Hunter
private
Biden je-
citizen that was not
Hunter
official.
Biden je private. Znači, ovi svi dokazi o kojima ja govorim mogu da budu korišćeni na sudu i pribavljeni su potpuno u skladu sa zakonom.
All this evidence can be used in a court of law and
Odavde.
they are obtained in a legal way, in a legal manner.
Gotcha.
Znači, što se tiče sastanka sa Hunterom Bidenom, ja opet ponavljam, Bojan Đorđević,
As far as the Dominion meetings with Biden, Hunter is concerned regarding that, he again mentions the name of Bojan Đorđević.
George Papadopoulos ima
George
mogućnost da
Papadopoulos
kontaktira sa
has
njim.
a possibility to contact this
Ja to
Bojan
pričam od
Đorđević.
1. januara.
He already has been saying, Srđan been stating that since the January 1st.
Kad ja pomenem ime George Papadopoulosa, svi se ograđuju da nema ništa sa njim.
When Srđan mentions the George Papadopoulos' name, everybody is reacting like they don't know him or have any contact with him.
But he was, on je bio u istom slučaju sa generalom Flynnom, mislim.
But he was
Pomilovao ih je Trump zajedno.
in the same case with General Flynn. They were both pardoned by President Trump
Same time.
at the same time.
Znači, on može kontaktirati Bojana Đorđevića.
He can contact this Bojan Đorđević.
Znači, Bojan Đorđević očigledno posle izbora 2016. je hteo da pobegne iz Dominiona.
Obviously that this Bojan Đorđević wanted to escape from Dominion after the US presidential election 2016.
Jer su oni sigurno krali i tada za Hillary Clinton.
Because obviously they were stealing even then, not so much like
Samo nisu očekivali oni da Trump ima ikakvu šansu da pobedi.
They just didn't expect in 2016 that Trump actually has a chance to win it.
Any chance, 1% chance they didn't give him. I čovek je teo da napusti firmu, ali ga je Obradović prevario i ostavio ga i dalje za direktora.
He wanted to leave the company, Đorđević, then at that time, but Goran Obradović,
Who is glavni?
He frauded him. He manipulated him, and he left him to be in charge of the company, like a legal representative.
Znači, zato Đorđević je slaba karika.
This is why he is the weakest link.
Već je na Twitteru pričao previše.
He already spoke too much on Twitter.
Posle je prestao. Znači, on je povezao sa ACNC-em, kompanijom Dominionu. Ono iz Venezuele. ACNC takođe ima uređaje u...
He's connected to the NCAC, the company from Venezuela.
They are connected with Dominion also.
They are also connected.
On je priznao to na Twitteru kod mene.
He admitted this at Twitter exchange at Srđan's profile.
Yeah, I read that
Yes.
one.
Would the Serbian government have sent protection for Hunter Biden to that meeting?
Da li bi srpska vlada tada obezbedila zaštitu Hunteru na tom sastanku sa Dominionom?
Is that common?
Certainly, yes.
Pa pazite, mislim, on može ovde se ponaša kako god želi.
Well, that's certainly the case because Biden,
Oni postavljaju,
he can
njegova strana
look here
postavlja ovde
whatever he
vlast.
wants. He can conduct himself in whichever manner he chose.
Oni su ljudi koji biraju ovde vlast.
They are the people who put our people into power here.
Znači, ovde je njihova sigurna kuća i zato oni se ponašaju vrlo opušteno.
Their safe house, and this is why they all can act so casually while doing their job.
Znači, najlakši način za čišćenje i jeste kad biste imali u državama ovim bočnim ljude koji ne pripadaju tim strukturama i koji hoće da idu u pun gaz da se obračunaju s njima. Da bi se to povratno vratilo u Ameriku, naravno.
The easiest way to clean everything up if you had people inside these other countries, in all those structures, people who were willing to
Da očiste sve to, ali nema
clean
šanse.
everything up, but that's
njihova
not a
država.
chance because they control everything.
Jer kad sam rekao, zamislite, pojavio se slučaj izborne krađe u Americi i Dominionovog softvera koji se pravi u Srbiji. Da imamo jednog tužioca da radi svoj posao. Otvori istragu i pozove ih sve na saslušanje. I mi rešimo to bez problema.
Imagine that this case appears.
Ne, it already appears. There were elections in the United States, and then it was a problem of election fraud. And everybody in states say Dominion voting machine, Dominion software, it is a problematic issue. Was it still, wasn't it still? So if a normal prosecutor in Serbia, he will say, okay, we have a situation in the United States. Dominion software was created in Serbia, there is a company here. I will open an investigation and call them to check.
You only had one normal, law-abiding prosecutor
to have
who do that.
Conversation and to use, for example, with veštak, kako bi rekao veštak?
Expertise.
Expertise.
Someone to expertise
and the case is slučaj rešen.
And the case, everything will be clear, the case will be closed.
Nijedan, niko se ovde se prave ko da nema Dominion ni u Srbiji.
Who would do something like that.
Zato što sve jedno kontrolišu Amerikanci, odnosno ova struktura.
American, this side of American control, this structure.
Gotcha.
I onda vam je lako, znači šta, u Americi više nisu sigurni, ajmo iz Srbije, ajmo iz Irana, ajmo iz Kine, ajmo da,
it was easy for them, they were no longer safe in the US, so they figured, let's do this from Serbia, from Iran, from other countries, etc.
Perceivably because they have more control in your country than they did back at home?
U Americi kako tako postoje određeni zakoni, onda je problem da budu osvetljeni u Americi. Kao ono trenutka kad je Trump došao na vlast, on je neke ljude počeo da postavlja. I sad već to više nije sigurna situacija.
In the US there are at least still some kind of laws, and it is problem for them to be exposed there. And especially after Trump reached power, he started to appoint some people, and that was a problem for them. Secondly, they didn't want to cause any to be light to be put on them. They didn't want to have any attention on them. And this is why they have these backup countries like our country.
Znate, ima svojevremeno je, kad je Gerhard Schröder bio kancelar u Nemačkoj.
Long time ago when Gerhard Schröder was a German chancellor.
I Willy Wimmer, on je bio isto u nešto u nemačkoj vlasti, mu šalje pismo.
Willy Wimmer, who was also part of the German government, sent Schröder a letter.
To je mislim 2002.
It was
Prva, druga.
2002 or 2001.
I govori, bio je neki NATO summit u Bratislavi.
There was some NATO summit in Bratislava.
I kažu za ovaj ovde prostor, za Srbiju.
And for Serbia, for this whole area, he uses the expression.
Rekao je Schröderu, oni u stvari neće nikada da oni odu ni u NATO ni u Europsku uniju.
They will never be a part of either European Union or NATO.
Njima Srbija i taj region treba kao crna rupa.
And they need this, our region, like a black hole.
Znači, gde nema nikakvih zakona.
And there are no laws, no regulations.
I gde mogu sve da rade, sa šta go žele.
And they can do anything they want.
I to je crna rupa.
This is here, the black hole.
Jer opet da ste u Europskoj uniji ili u NATO, opet bi neka kontrola i neki
if you are in European Union or NATO, well, at least there will be some sort of control, some sort of set of laws and regulations.
Neko bi postavio pitanja s polja šta
radi.
radi.
Ask a question, what are you doing, people?
Gotcha.
But not here.
Any other questions?
Oh, I have a million, but we don't have time.
Guarantee first.
I'm sorry?
We got to get the guarantee first.
Yeah.
So we go back. You're open to still communicate,
I'm open, of
signal,
course.
and
Signal, yes.
talk to me regardless. I tentatively look like I've got property business, so I will be back roughly 2 weeks. Got to close on property. I don't know what travel would look like for you somewhere in through there.
Schedule.
Yeah.
Vremenski okvir.
The next 30 days, what's that
The next 30 days.
Pa dobro, samo da znam da vidim da otkažem neke obaveze sudi i ostalo.
Just need to know to in due time to
Da prebacim na druge ljude.
Some stuff.
So how much do you need in like pre-notice?
Koliko je moguće napred reći, mislim, šta sam.
As long as it's possible, the longer time the better, but it's whenever you are in position to give him some kind of
Potrudite se da bude što ranije,
make
da imam
sure
dovoljno
it can
vremena.
be early enough, as early as you can.
Sad nisam tu roko ni puno da vidim, imam i neka suđenja i ja lično.
He didn't bring a notebook, he has some personal case file courts,
Moji lični.
personal court cases, but just let him know as early as you can.
Are you opposed to traveling outside of Serbia?
Da li se protiviš putovanju van Srbije? No.
Okay.
Works for me. I don't know that I have any.
Druga strana zna iz mojih javnih nastupa otprilike šta ja govorim.
Like i zaprati.